back with another video. If you are new here, welcome. If not, welcome back, y'all. So as you can tell by the title, I do have a story time for you guys. And sorry, my bad. My daughter was definitely putting stickers on me. Mom life. But yes, guys, I have another story time for you guys. So be sure you guys are liking, commenting, and subscribing. I'm trying to get to 400 subscribers by tomorrow. But I know we can do it. I know we can do it. If you've been watching my videos for the past week, you know I was behind doing Vlogtober since I had lost my voice for about a week and a half. So I lost a lot of that time trying to vlog and get content out for you guys. So I've been basically kind of squishing it all in like a few videos a day this week. So I know it's probably overwhelming for you all, but trust me, I am at the point of exhaustion. I can't even say it. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. I'm exhausted trying to do all these videos. So next time I'll definitely be planning better. Of course, I can't help the fact that I lost my voice, but I'm doing everything in my power that I can to get all this content out to you guys, because tomorrow is literally the 31st. So I gotta do this. But anyway, I wanted to give you guys this quick story time. So if you haven't seen the last story time, I talked about how my roommate and her friend, how we all used to be friends my freshman year. And I talked about how they approached me in the lunchroom and was trying to fight me, but the rugby team had my back, basically. So if you've seen that story, then one of the characters in that story is who I'm going to be talking about in this story. And last story, I didn't give anybody names, but I did mention how I started working in the cafeteria and I met this girl in the cafeteria, and like we just hit it off. Like we became instant friends, and she's the one who was telling me that she was on the rugby team and introduced me and got me on to the rugby team. So for this video, we are going to be talking about the girl that I worked with in the cafeteria, and I'm going to give her the name Jenna. We're just gonna call her Jenna. So Jenna, she was a white girl, and that doesn't really matter, but I'm just letting y'all know just so you can get the visual in your head. But she was, like I said, I believe I mentioned that in the last video too. Like she was one of those white girls that was like real cool with all the black people. Like she was just like real cool. She was just one of them. So me and her hit it off real cool. Like I said, she helped me join the rugby team. And Jenna, like, she was like one of my first good friends after, I guess, me and my roommate done fell out. Well, we fell out like freshman year, but like coming into sophomore year, she was like my first like friend that I was actually hanging with outside of extracurricular activities, if that makes sense. So she was real cool. I think she was, I want to say she was like 2-3 years older than me. Yeah, because I think I was like 19, but she was able to like, I think she was already 21 because she was getting in the bars and stuff. So she had to be like 3 years older than me. But she was real cool. Like I really banged with her. So, you know, she introduced me to the rugby team. I started hanging out with the rugby team, which was also very different for me because the rugby team was predominantly white. There was about 4 of us black girls on the team, but we would always be hanging out, going to different mixers. So it would be like the rugby team mixer with one of the fraternities or something. Like, and I didn't know, I'm not trying to sound like, I don't know. I didn't know all the fraternities, honestly. I'm gonna be honest. I only really know black fraternities. I'm sorry. I'm just being honest. So I really didn't know all the fraternities that we had at our school. So it was actually kind of nice getting to know these other fraternities and whatnot. So I would go to all these mixers. I'm meeting all these new people. I was always one of those people who always hung out with like the black people, you know what I mean? So it was just nice being able to hang up with other people who weren't black, and you realize like they're just as cool. I'm trying to explain this the best way I can, guys. All right, so I love that. I'm meeting even more friends. I'm seeing that I have so much in common with other people that, don't look like me and all that good stuff. So I'm like, my sophomore year, I was just having like the greatest time. And I'm just like, wow, I was really limiting myself, only hanging with a certain group of people. Like I will never, ever do that again, honestly. So like I said, I'm growing, I'm learning all these things. Guys, it was to the point where this might sound crazy, or maybe not, but we were literally hanging out with like the cops who, worked up around our school. We were literally hanging out with them, smoking with them. Like it was weird. It was like it was so different to me. Like it was to the point where I'm just like, are we allowed to be doing this? I mean, have you ever just sat next to a cop and he just passed you a blunt? I mean, maybe you have. Like, I've never experienced anything like that ever. So I'm not gonna lie, I was a little shook when we were doing stuff like that. But it was kind of nice because it was like the nice being friends with them. Because I remember one time I got like stranded. I got stranded like, I don't know, not that far, maybe like 20 minutes out, and like the buses stopped running and I had no way to get back to my dorms. My girl Jenna calls up one of the cops that, works on campus, and he literally came and got me and took me back. Like, yo, what? It was like a different life that I just haven't been living, honestly. So that's just kind of the things I experienced being with Jenna. So I'm just like, wow, I really like her. Like, she's really cool with everybody. Like, and she's really genuine. She really cares about you. She's down to earth, like all of that. We would have like, remember how in the last video, I told you guys rugby wasn't like an actual like sport through the school. It was more of a club sport. And then also, I think every school has this, but they would have like rec basketball and rec football and all that. All the guys who were on the actual football team or basketball team, they could play recreational. So she would always go to the gym and was like playing with the boys. Like, girl, how are you really to school? Everybody, like, I was just really liking her personality and just like everything about her. It's just like giving like, girl, you're like really amazing. But anyway, enough about raving about Jenna. I'm just trying to tell you what type of person she was in my eyes. You know what I mean? So, going on, if you guys been watching my other story times about how, let's see, for example, the one where I talked about how I got engaged, I was talking about how I was on and off with him my whole high school, my whole 4 college years that I went to the school. So during this time, my sophomore year, we were on, basically. We're talking, we're actually dating at this point in the beginning of the school year. And he was really like the only person I was hanging out with because, like I said, I didn't have any friends. And that's also why I picked up the job working in the cafeteria and also joining the rugby team to make more friends. So I'm not just always hanging out with my boyfriend. So we're always hanging out, and I don't know what it is, but I've always dated or hung out with people who were, I guess, like either my age, but mainly older than me, because my boyfriend was also 3 to 4 years older than me. So he was, living the college life as well. So he would go out to the bars and stuff. Of course, I wasn't able to go out to the bars that were off campus because I was only 19. But sometimes, like, if I was real sneaky about it, they would, like, sneak me in through the back door or something like that. But I wasn't really cool with anybody, so I can, like, use their ID, or how my little sisters were, and I used to just give them ID. Like, I'm the oldest, so I didn't have that luxury. I just had to wait till I was 21, or I had to hop the fence to get into the club. And I'm just too cute to be doing all that. Like, girl, just wait your time. So that's what I did. So with that being said, we would all start hanging out because it's like, I got my boyfriend, and then we got Jenna, she's my friend. And we had some of the girls on the rugby team, we would all hang out together too. So there was this other girl on the rugby team that I noticed was getting really close with Jenna. And that's cool with me. I'm not one of those friends that are like, oh, you're my friend, you can only be friends with me. Like, I've never been that way. You can have multiple friends. Like, that's weird. You know what I mean? I've never been that way. Especially since, like, I just met the girl. I've only known her for a few months. I mean, we've gotten close in those few months, but oh, who am I to be like, that you're my friend, you can't be friends with her? Like, no, that's weird. So there was this other girl on the rugby team, and she was, I want to say, a year under me. So she was younger than me, but I noticed that she was getting really cool with Jenna. And you know, me and Jenna, we used to hang out all the time, and I'm not gonna lie, I started to feel a little left out because I noticed they would go and do certain things without me. But at the same time, I'm like, you know what, Drea, you know, they don't owe you that. They don't owe me to, how am I trying to say this? They don't have to invite me everywhere. If them two want to go hang out with each other, fine. But at the end of the day, I'm only human, and I feel the way I feel. And I just felt like I was being left out because us three used to all hang out together. So I'm just like, okay, cool, whatever. So I'm hanging out with my boyfriend. Of course, my boyfriend, he's so like, I don't know. He would make little comments like, oh, let's give the girl on the other girl on the rugby team a name. We'll call her Taylor. So he would say little stuff like,
oh, I see Jenna pretty much dissed you for Taylor, and she's Taylor's best friend now, and they're all hanging out, and, you know, they just be leaving you out.
Like, first of all, why are you trying to hurt me? Why are you trying to hurt me? Like, you don't already think I see that I've been being left out to hang with your ass? It's like, no. But I'm just like, oh, like, whatever. She can have other friends. Like, I ain't tripping off that. He was like,
girl, I'm just saying, like, Jenna's been hanging out with Taylor a lot more than you, and Taylor's younger than her.
I'm just like, okay, and why does age even matter? And you know, guys, oh, I'm just saying. I'm just like, okay, well, say your ass that way, like, bye. But I'm not gonna hold you. I've already been feeling this way. You know, not the age thing. The age thing don't got nothing to do with it, but it is like, oh, I've definitely noticed that you guys are hanging out more. So I'm just like, okay, cool. I'm not gonna worry about it. You know, it is what it is. So a couple more weeks go by, and you know, we're all three still hanging out, but it's definitely like them two and then me, honestly. Like, it's not even like it was like me and Jenna all the time, and then it was like her coming hanging out with us time, to all three of us hanging out, to it really just being Taylor and Jenna now. So I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of feeling left out, but I'm like, what it is. So I ends up finding out just like through rumors and just the school just talking, because college is really like a high school. So I just found out that they were doing like missions together. And if you don't know what missions are, I'm saying like they would like I don't know, they would go and meet up with like guys and do certain little things. You know, we call it missions. They would go on a mission. So they was going on a lot of missions. So with that being said, I completely understood why they wasn't inviting me, because y'all already know I wasn't about to be stepping out on my man. Oh, not for nobody ever. No, I don't do that. So, and you know what? And after I found that out, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm not even mad no more. Because if y'all are doing that and that's why y'all not inviting me, cool. Invite me for the other stuff. Don't invite me on no missions. But at the same time, I'm like, Taylor girl, you got a whole man. Not only do you have a whole man, but you got a whole man that's on the basketball team. And y'all been together for some years, and that man is like crazy about you, but I'm not in their relationship. I don't know what goes on in their relationship. Like I said, he was on the basketball team, so maybe he was doing his thing, and that's why Taylor was doing her thing. But I don't know, because I knew Taylor's boyfriend, and he was one of the nicest guys I've ever met. But that doesn't mean anything at all. But all I'm saying is, I honestly don't believe he was doing anything. But either way, when you're in a relationship, don't do that. Don't do that anyway. That's weird. And then there's rumors and stuff going around, and y'all. Anyway, so I'm just like, okay, cool. That's what they're doing. Fine. Because I remember that one time I like heard rumors about it, but the one time I was hanging, you know, with Taylor and Jenna, and they was pretty much telling me about it. They were telling me about like certain situations they did and this and that. And I'm like, oh, okay, y'all, like, do y'all think? Because I'm not here to judge anybody. I mean, I went through my own little hoe phase or whatever you want to call it. Like, I'm not here to judge them or nothing, but do y'all think? Like, I'm in a relationship and I'm happy and I'm not about to jeopardize that, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, so goes through all that. So y'all, that brings me to this one night. And I don't remember which night it was. I think it was during a weekday. And, you know, I told you guys, my sophomore year, if you watched the last video, I had a busy sophomore year. I was working and I was on the rugby team. And then, of course, I've had a bunch of classes and all that good stuff. So when the day is over, I'm chilling. I want to go to sleep. But I think it was like a Wednesday. And every Wednesday up Cal, like off campus, the bars, they had like what was it? Oh, it was called Bucket Night. It was called Bucket Night at this one bar. And basically you go to the bar and you pay for like a $5 bucket of like jungle juice. Like, and you just get fucked up. Like, swear, y'all, when I turned 21, I was so happy because I could finally go to Bucket Night. I think I went like a couple of times if I like hopped the fence just to get in there. But man, Bucket Night was lit. It was on Wednesday night. So one day they're all going to Bucket Night. My boyfriend went. Jenna went. Now they didn't necessarily go together, but I'm just saying, like, they were older. Everybody goes to Bucket Night. If you're 21 and older or have like a fake ID or you know the bouncer and you're cool with them, you're going to Bucket Night on Wednesdays. So everybody's out Bucket Night and they're all having a good time. I'm asleep, okay? I'm asleep. Like, I'm not thinking about Bucket Night. I'm thinking about my 8 a.m. class Thursday morning. You know what I'm saying? So of course, you know, I say good night to my man and, you know, have fun, be safe, that type of thing. You know, I fully trusted him. Like, it's cool. That's my man. But, you know, it is what it is. So anyway, the next day, you know, passes and I didn't think nothing of it. Everything's normal. I see Jenna. I seen Jenna at work. Everything's cool. Everything's cool. I see my boyfriend. Everything's cool. Everybody had a good night. Okay, cool. Next day, cool. And I would always have people like come up to me all the time and ask me about my boyfriend. Like, excuse me. They would always ask me about my boyfriend. Like, why are you with him? And these are guys and, well, mostly guys, I'll say. They'll be like,
Oh, I'm surprised you guys are dating. Like, why are you really with him? You know, he only ever really likes white girls. He only dates white girls and he only talks to white girls. So that's kind of weird that he's talking to you.
and I would just be like, okay, like, I don't really know what you want me to say. Like, so what if somebody only dated white girls? Does that mean he can't date me because I'm not white? Like, the man is black himself. He can't date a black girl? I never fully understood that. I felt like I kind of understood where they were coming from asking me that. But at the same time, it's just like, I don't know what you want me to tell you. Like, he never really acted weird towards me and all that extra stuff. Like, I don't really, maybe he just never found the right black girl that he actually likes. And maybe he found that in me. I don't know. I can't really answer that question. But honestly, I used to just brush it off all the time. Like, okay, yeah, whatever. You can't have you. Maybe that's why you're really mad, but whatever. So anyway, I'm just like leaving it alone, not listening to it at all. So, you know, the days go on, and I'm still going to work. And Jenna, you know, she's really cool with everybody. She was cool with all the lunch ladies. Mind you, she's been going to the college for like 3 years already. So she's real cool with all the lunch ladies, all the workers, everybody in the cafeteria. She's like cool with everybody. So I ended up getting cool with a couple of the lunch ladies that work there. And I noticed that the one lunch lady would always say something to me every time she seen my boyfriend in the lunchroom. And she would always look at me and be like,
No, Drea, I don't like that kid for you. I don't like that man for you. I don't like him at all.
And I used to just be like, well, why? She'd be like,
I don't know. I just have a bad feeling about him. I just have a really, really bad feeling about him.
and I used to be like, okay, ma'am. Like, she wasn't even that much older. She was probably like in her late 20s, maybe early 30s. And she'd just be like, and she was like real soft spoken. She was always really nice. I actually really like her. But every time she seen my man, she would always tell me how she didn't like him. And I'll be like, well, why? Like, did you see something? Did you hear something? And she'll be like,
I just don't like him. Like, there's just something about him, you know, I just call it women's intuition. Like, there's just something about him that it's just a little off to me.
okay, well, I feel you. I haven't really been having any issues with my man, but you know, if there's anything you need to tell me, like definitely let me know for sure. And she was like,
Oh, yeah, no, I just don't really like him like that.
I'm just like, okay, cool. I left it alone. So I'm still working, not really thinking anything of it, because since everybody got something to say about my man but don't really want to say what they really want to say, what am I really supposed to do? Like, I'm just letting things go and just going how I go about my business, because I mean, innocent till proven guilty, which I didn't even think he was guilty of anything. But okay, because you telling me that you don't like my boyfriend doesn't really mean anything to me unless you did something with him. You know what I mean? But anyway, so a few more weeks go past, guys, and I noticed that me and Jenna just completely stopped hanging out. The girl stopped showing up to practice games. She's not even on the rugby team anymore. I don't even know what happened to this chick. Like, she's just gone for real. She's barely at work anymore. She went from like working every day to working like maybe once a week, once every other week, or once whenever she's around. So I'm just like, okay, I don't know what's going on with Jenna, but me and her really have not been hanging out. And then but sometimes I would see her like on campus walking to class. I would always see her with Taylor. And I'm like, okay, like cool. Like, you just got real cool with Taylor, and maybe that's just your new best friend, and that's who you want to be buddy with, and you just don't want to be that cool with me no more. Like, I really can't be mad at that. Cool. So the one day, like, I seen her in the lunchroom, and I'm talking to her like, hey, you know, I haven't seen you in forever. She's like,
Yeah, I know.
and like literally that's all she says. She was just like, yeah, I know. And I'm just like, okay, everything cool? She's like,
Yeah, you know, just been doing my thing.
and I'm just like, okay, cool, you know? And I'm just like, why is she so short with me? Why does she not come around me no more? She don't talk to me no more. Like, I really don't, I could not understand why we was not cool no more. Like, I didn't know what I did. I didn't know if it was something I did. Like, I did not know. I was so confused. So a couple days later, I'm working with the nice lunch lady that I was talking about, and she was, you know, she sees my boyfriend again, you know, at lunchtime or dinner, whenever we was working, and she's like,
Man, I just have to shake my head at this every time I see him. I just have to keep shaking my head at him.
and I'm like, tell me what's up, like what's going on? Like, I'm already feeling weird because Jenna hasn't been talking to me anymore, and I know you and Jenna are really cool, and now you're telling me all these things, like you don't like my boyfriend. Like, what's really going on? Like, what's going on? And then she was just like,
You know what? Me and Jenna are cool, so I don't want to be the one to tell you, but Jenna did tell me something about her and your boyfriend.
and I'm just like, what? And she was like,
Yeah, Jenna did tell me something about her and your boyfriend, but I don't want to be the one to say anything, so you're going to have to ask Jenna about it.
okay, Miss Lunch Lady Girl, I will. So later on that day, I hits up Jenna, and you know, I asked her to meet me or whatever, and we meet, and we're just talking normal, you know, for real. And then I brings it up. I'm like, Jenna, you know, we ain't been really hanging out all like that. I noticed that you have been super distant, and we just don't really talk anymore. Like, what's up with that? Is everything cool? And then she was just like, she was a really nice girl. She really was. But she was just like,
You know, Drea, like, yeah, I know. Honestly, I just been feeling super uncomfortable because, well, the one day I was walking to from bucket night. Everybody was leaving bucket night, and I seen him with this girl, and he was like walking with her and all this other stuff, and I didn't really say much. I knew the girl and I said hi, hey and everything, but I didn't really say much to him or anything. But I seen it, and I don't know, like they left to go somewhere, but I don't know where they left to go.
And I'm just like, oh, okay. I'm like, that's weird. I'm like, I don't understand why you wouldn't have told me this.
She's like, well, I didn't really want to tell you because I honestly didn't know if it was even anything, and then I didn't want to start any drama if it was really nothing.
And I'm just like, okay, well, I understand that. But if me and you are cool, like, you could have at least told me what you saw. But honestly, to me, I feel like maybe she's just more cool with the other girl. Because the other girl, she wasn't on a rugby team. But I definitely should see her around and see them talking and whatnot. So, I don't know. But even then, when she said that to me, I'm like, okay. And I don't see what that has to do with me and you not really talking and being cool no more. And she gonna be like,
well, literally a couple minutes, maybe 10 minutes after that, I ended up seeing him again, and we all went back to my place.
Because she lived in one of those suites where, you know, you had the living room and then 4 bedrooms and like a kitchen, where I just lived in a regular dorm room with another person. She had a suite, so I guess he and her roommates and stuff went back to their suite. And I guess they were still drinking and all that good stuff. And yeah, she literally was just like,
yeah, when we were walking to my suite, he came up to me and grabbed my face like this, and he kissed me on my lips.
Okay. And then what happened? And she was just like,
we ended up going into my suite, and we were all just hanging out, chilling, and he didn't want to go home, so I let him sleep in the spare room.
Like I said, he had 4 rooms, but one of the rooms were like empty, so I let him sleep in, was it the spare room? Oh, no, I lied. So she had like this suite, she had like this couch, and then she had like her bed over here, and she let him sleep on the couch in her room. And in my head, I'm like, okay, well, why wouldn't you, first of all, Ben told me all of this. Ben, why haven't you Ben told me this? And that y'all kissed, instead of just completely stop talking to me because he kissed you. Because what does that even have to do with me? Unless you kissed him back and you enjoyed that shit and you didn't know how to tell me. You know what I'm saying? Because we're supposed to be friends. So he sleeps over her house. She said he wakes up the next day and just leaves. And I'm just like, I just don't understand how he was too drunk to go back to his dorm, because it's not like I have to drive. You live in a suite in hall. I think she lived in like, literally, y'all, no lie, there was like 5 halls, like A, B, C, D, E, F, whatever. So she lived in hall B. Me and him, we both lived in hall C or something. I don't know. I can't even fully remember what halls we lived in, but we lived in the same hall. Like, babe, you could have, sorry, not babe, but Jenna, you could have taught me and be like, hey, your man is here, or come get it. Or honestly, you should have never invited my man to your room anyway. Like, that's just weird. That's just weird. And like, honestly, I trusted the both of them to do that or whatever, and like hang out and drink more or whatever. But you could have told me y'all kissed though. Like, I honestly would have never expected that. Like, ever. So she's just like,
yeah, that's what happened. And I don't know. I don't know why I didn't say anything.
So of course at this point, we're talking in the lunchroom, but this is during the time where it's in between like lunch and dinner. So nobody's in there, but of course we're allowed in there because we work there, even though we were like off the clock. So it was just like, okay, girl, like I'm just not fully understanding this. Like, I just don't understand. And she was just like,
yeah, remember that one day where you kept calling him and he was just like, oh, I stayed over at friends. Like, I was just too drunk.
Because I would leave my dorm room unlocked so he can come in. So he can like literally come in there without having to like wake me up. Me have to get up and like wake up and whatnot. So he could have just easily like came to my room. Like, I just don't get it. Like, y'all, I don't understand. I just don't. So he intentionally wanted to kiss you and wanted to do all that. And of course, he's not saying anything. But she gonna say,
remember that one time when you're like blowing up his phone and he finally answered and you're like, where are you at? And he says, oh, I slept over at friends because I was too drunk and I slept on her couch.
And I'm just like, yeah, I remember that. I cussed that nigga the fuck out.
And she was like, yeah, the girl he was talking about was me.
Y'all, I just felt so betrayed and I just felt so dumb, and I'm just so mad because I'm just like, girl, so you're telling me that you told the lunch lady this and the lunch lady has known this for weeks. I'm over here looking dumb as fuck from the both of y'all. From both Jenna, you, and from my boyfriend. And the lunch lady is here low-key trying to tell me, but not really telling me by saying, oh, I don't really like that guy for you, Drea. Like, bitch, I guess you wouldn't. Why would you? Because you know your girl over here, your girl Jenna over here is kissing on my man. Vice versa. He kissing on her, whatever. Whatever the fuck happened, kissing was involved. You sleeping at her crib, that's a big no-no. Are you kidding me right now? You'd be pissed if I slept over one of your friends' crib. Are you serious? Oh, man, y'all, that had me so hot to the point where she just didn't even know what else to say to me, and she literally just got up and walked away. And when I tell y'all that was the end of any friendship the little bit of ounce that we had left, oh yeah, that was the end of it. She ended up dropping out. I don't know whatever happened to Taylor. I think her hoe ass got broke up with or something. Who knows? But yeah, it was just so wild to me. And of course, like, me and my man, we ended up breaking up. But of course, if you know our history, we ended up getting back together later down the road. But it's just like, y'all, I was so hurt. I was so hurt. And then a part of me was just like, should I have listened to all these other people coming up to me saying, why are you with him when he only likes white girls? Because in that moment, that's literally what I thought about. I thought about the fact that, okay, maybe it's true, you really only like white girls, and like, why are you talking to me if that's really what you want? Like, I don't get it. Because now I feel like you're with me because you have some type of fetish or something. Like, seriously. And not gonna lie, y'all, till this day, I follow this man on social media and he is with a white woman. And I have no, like, I don't really care about that. If you're with a white girl, cool. Like, I don't care about that at all. Like, shit, half my cousins is white. Well, mixed, whatever. But yeah, y'all. Anyway, that was so wild to me. I'm not gonna hold you. Like, as soon as I felt like I was finally getting built up and being around people who truly cared about me and this and that, literally I just got stumped on. My heart just stumped right on all over again. And that's why I just be like, man, I don't trust nobody. I really don't need friends. Like, I'll just stick to my family. And even when it comes to family, tread lightly, because swear, you just never know anybody's true intentions, to be honest. And it's just so wild that I was just looking dumb for months or weeks. I was looking dumb for weeks, y'all. Weeks. Like, the shit is just wild. Like, anyway, let me know if you ever been through anything like that down in the comments. That's pretty much the end of this story time. So be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I'm still trying to get to 400 subscribers. By tomorrow, guys, it's going to happen. Trust me, just because I'm manifesting it, it's going to happen. Better believe that. But anyway, guys, have a good night, and I'll see you guys in my next video.